Going to go ahead and start this special meeting of the Community Preservation Committee. I'll call the meeting to order. Again, it's a special meeting, Thursday, March 20th, 7 o'clock. In accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, public bodies otherwise governed by the OML are temporarily relieved from the requirement that meetings be held in public places open and physically accessible to the public, so long as measures are taken to ensure public access to the body's deliberation through adequate and alternative means. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may participate remotely by joining Zoom with meeting ID number of 840-0877-2826 or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, the Assistant Town Manager, at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100, prior to the meeting during business hours. Again, I've called the meeting to order. Approval of the agenda, which only has one item on the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
All right, Jess makes the motion. Second?
Second.
All right, Barry seconds it. All right, got to go through the roll call because we're online. Barry?
Aye.
Aye. Jess?
Aye.
Beth?
Yes.
Okay, Kevin?
I wonder if
Okay,
he's having issues with the Zoom connection.
he
When
might.
I had someone I was getting on earlier.
Okay,
Things had changed on me.
okay. All
And
right,
Kevin, I don't know if you can still try pressing *6 to unmute if it's not unmuting for you on your phone.
oh,
I see
There
unmuted.
you go. That
Yeah.
did it. So yes.
All right. Now, that's okay, no problem, Kevin. Welcome aboard. I tell you, we've got a good group here. That's what I keep telling you, so. All right, thank you, Beth. And the chair says aye, so we got the agenda approved. Next is the review of the town warrant articles. I think I sent them all out to you. I don't know, again, we reviewed them at the last meeting. I do have the final numbers. So what I can do is I can share the warrant articles. Oh, let me move this out of the way. Can everybody see that other than
Yes.
Kevin? All right. This here will be the, I don't know what article number, but the total amount that let's see. All right, for Jess, the assessor's estimate was $778,347.80.
Okay.
Okay, from that,
That
again,
is including the surcharge and the state match.
no.
Okay.
That's just the assessor's estimate of what they took in for the surcharge.
Okay.
Okay, and the regulation says that we have to take some of that money out for the abatements and the allowances for individuals that request not to pay into the CPC, the CPA fund, the tax, for the tax, and they have to meet certain qualifications. So they go ahead and say approximately, they have a formula, and Carrie was starting to go through it, and it's now, I said, I understand that it's got to be like a 3% of this number, but not, right, whatever. So the estimated allowance comes out to, we have to remove $9,130.42 from that amount. Then our state match is $241,072.72. Our total estimated revenue will be $1,010,290.10. So that's our basic number. That's what we would build those 10% on.
So that takes out the allowance, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if nobody asks for the abatement, then that 9,000 goes back into the bucket. But you have to put it to the side like that, and I put it to the side. Okay, so with that, if we take 5%, that gives us 50,515 for administrative tax or administrative expenses. And what I did here is I put it down due diligence, including title search related administrative tasks for property acquisition and all other necessary and proper expenses of the committee. And I'll show you why. I put all that in the text and that text there. So that's the 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 10% breakdown for each one of the categories, which is open space, historic, and community housing, will be $101,029.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the remainder sum, that approximately 70% less the administrative expenses, will be $656,689.
Isn't that basically 65%?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to, I can put down 65%, but I think having that 70 less administrative expense, know that it's been removed.
Right.
Okay. So it turned out to be approximately, we're looking at with the three, again, you get 15% for the first phase and the first round of money. Because we're at 3%, we get two more. So we got approximately 31, a little over 31% from the state. There were still some towns that still got 100%. I got to figure out what gives them the 100% and how we can try to get higher.
Was that 31% accounting for all three matches?
Yes,
Okay.
it's 31.34%.
Okay.
To get precise.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So everybody okay with that article?
Yep.
Yep.
The only question I have that might pertain here is we have another article transferring 200,000 out into housing and then another 200,000 out into historic.
Correct. And that their second one always used to be the due diligence one.
Right, but wouldn't it make sense just to eliminate that article and just in this first article add on 200,000 to each of those categories?
I mean, I'll do whatever, the group wants to. The whole idea behind it is this first one is set at the 10%.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
the other one breaks it up so that we need
Okay.
to put money
Yeah.
into those two buckets.
My thought is to eliminate the second article and just put the total amount for the projects, but say that the source is both, for like the library, it's both historic and undesignated reserve.
Um,
And for the community housing, you just say it's the source is from, the housing and undesignated reserve.
Oh, that I
And
think
that-
does make it messier for accounting.
well, not only that,
No, it's really typical, isn't it?
the whole thing behind, if we go ahead and if we take the money out, we're only going to have community housing right now only has 136,000 $567 in it. So we don't have enough in those buckets,
Mm.
in that bucket right now.
Well, that's why I'm saying in the article that's funding the projects, say that the money's coming from housing and from undesignated reserve.
That means we'll have zero in housing.
Yeah,
But-
so that means after everything's used, after everything's dispersed and used, we would have zero in those things. So probably it is better to refill those buckets. Either doing it in this article or in the second article is fine with me. In the transfer article.
Yeah, I just don't understand the need for the second one then. Why not just increase the percentage for the first one, like Jess said?
Yeah.
We just want to really expedite town meeting, don't we? We don't need extra articles.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no, that's fine with me, okay? We can go ahead and I can figure out the calculation, so that the historic and the community housing, I'll add 200,000 to those.
But we also don't need to have money in those whenever we have undesignated reserve, right?
Well, I mean, you're right. Again, we need 10% at least for this, for the disbursement.
We
Yeah,
we allocated at least 10%. Yeah.
Yes, so we do have to have something in there for the state.
Well, no, we're putting 10% in.
Yeah, we're
Right,
putting,
but it would immediately be coming out when we spend this, so then we'd wind up with zero in that.
But that's fine as long as you're putting 10% in.
Yeah.
right, but if we go ahead and put more in to that bucket, it's available now instead of July 1st.
No, everything is available anytime.
We can't remove something out of a bucket. All right. From what I
I mean,
understand,
how about this? How about we fund everything from undesignated reserve this year and just leave the 100,000s where they are?
feelings from the rest of the group? I mean, I usually like to see where it comes from, and
Mm.
we've done it in the past out of
yeah.
undesignated. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, no, I think I'd probably rather than just have it in the right buckets. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I agree to that. I agree with that as well. Keeping it in the same bucket
Yeah,
for each bucket. I should say.
It's really just extra paperwork, right? I mean, undesignated one way or the other is going to move to the bucket.
Mm, well, when you're saying that, it really won't. It's going to be coming out of undesignated and
But it's a project in that bucket. So we are using the money for housing and historic. But you're suggesting that town meeting should take an action to move the money when it's not necessary,
see,
other than, right? I don't care either way. We just have to figure out the percentages if we're going to add an extra 200,000. I think the 200,000 seems really kind of are random too. So I don't know what I
Well,
wasn't at the last meeting to know
Yeah.
how this was discussed.
no, this wasn't, the second article, because we usually have the due diligence. And when I was speaking with Carrie went ahead and said, you already have 5%. That's more than, what you had before. For why add additional 20,000 for due diligence
Yeah.
when you've already got 50,000, where we only used last year, when I think we only used about 4,000 of it.
Yeah. I like that merger a lot, the administrative and the due diligence, the way that it's worded. I think that that's all great. And just trying to get rid of that second article.
All right, we can do what Jess recommended, is add the 200,000, and we don't even have to put the percentage amounts on there.
yeah,
But
yeah, because we're meeting the minimum 10%, so Yeah.
Right. So 10%, will be for an open space. I mean, we could go ahead and do that, but then we don't have to put a percentage at all. I mean, again, we're meeting it, so we don't
Do
have,
we just want to put 200 in each of the three categories then?
open space currently has 1.184 million.
Yeah, because remember, we do like to have that undesignated for unforeseen
Mhm.
uses. But right now, we know we're taking 220 out of historic, and we're taking 200 out of housing for these two new articles. So that'll leave them with reasonable balances anyways.
So
But-
do you need to change the first article for more than 200 for each of historic and housing?
No,
But you're going to add 200 to each from
Yeah.
the distribution, so they'll each go up to about 300 something, right?
at $301.29. And then, like I say, I can get rid of this because we're meeting that requirement.
I think you did. Oh yeah, no, you've got it right. Okay, good. Thanks.
Uh-huh. So we can do that and remove the second article.
Yeah.
That'd be fine with me.
Okay.
Okay. And then it's still, this amount will change.
Minus 400. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be 256,689.
Yeah. So,
And do we want to keep it like a wonky number? I mean, the open space has to be 10%, so that number can be wonky, but do we want to just change the other two to just 300? I know you'll have to do more math, but
no, I don't think so. I like this because then we can say 200. It's like it's a 10% plus an additional 200 to cover the warrant articles.
okay.
All right, I think that makes it easier to explain.
The
Okay.
only thing with this then is that if there's not enough money in those categories prior to town meeting, then the money's not going to be available until after July 1, right?
Correct, which would be okay for community housing. Historic, we're fine. Historic, we have the 227, so that's fine. In community housing, we have only the 136. But again, this is,
But they don't need it until July 1st.
right, and it's 128,000 is going into the trust fund. And it's not like they need that right now.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I just said, yep. Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this one. And the library roof out of the historic category for the 214,250. They have capital fund to help offset the newer portion of 85,750. I've been in touch with Chuck Schultz, and he has researched the items that he needs, plus also to the Secretary of the Interior guidelines. And during the meeting last time, they agreed to make sure that they stick by those guidelines. And I told them it's going to be part of the grant agreement. So,
Very good. Thank you.
okay. Right, and then the last one is, again, the 200,000 for the Affordable Housing Trust, where 72 goes to the rental assistance program. So if they need that quickly, that money's in there, which they won't need it because it's $500 a month for the 12 families. And then 128 for putting it into the trust fund itself with a total of 200,000. All right.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that the language on the library roof, because there are a few things that they're doing that aren't just the roof, should probably say and associated repairs or something like that, like to support the replacement and repair of the library roof and other appurtenances or something like that. I don't know, like, because I just want to make sure that nobody comes back or, like that it's clear that the money can be used for what was presented in the application, which included some of the um,
Yeah,
the chimney and things like that. So maybe just say in associated items.
I don't-
How about after roof, just put comma, including associated necessary repairs?
it's really, it's more than just repairs. Some of it may be replaced. I'm just trying to think, hold on a second. I'm looking at the application. Um,
Well, or just,
oh yeah, it says roofing repairs, related repairs, other roofing related repairs. You're right, that's exactly what it says on the application.
Hmm.
And
What about related elements? Because now you're repeating repair twice.
yeah.
okay, we can use the word element. That sound good? To support the replacement and repair of the Ayer library roof and other related elements.
Yep.
Sure.
Beth,
I'm
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just looking whether appurtenances is really like the right word because I feel like that gets used a lot, but if everybody's okay with elements, because
Yeah.
appurtenance is like an accessory object.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the weeds
Yeah,
here.
Yep.
let's not make it too complicated.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I put it in the explanatory note as well, and other related elements. I could even put down, I could even, detail that out in the explanatory notes. No, if we need to, we can explain it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they can go to the application and
Correct.
yeah.
Okay, so we're all set now for the library roof and the Affordable Housing Trust?
Yep.
Okay. So
The
this,
notes could say that the applications are available online.
Well,
we had the public hearing on March 5th.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it says. So,
Anybody who's looking at the warrant article, town warrant in advance would usually have the savvy to look on the website for more information if they wanted it. But if it's at town meeting itself, like many people don't look at the warrant until they get there.
Yeah.
It's too late to go onto the website.
yeah, because you can't get there from there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because again, we have the link for the public hearing and it has the applications right there.
Yeah.
On the website. So
On the
if you're saying like they held a public hearing, it doesn't say there's any information available anywhere.
We, I'll see what the team says, because again, on the website, that's about where all this information is located.
Yeah.
But how does a resident know if they aren't in the loop?
Well, I think that if a resident, we'll be at town meeting to answer any questions as well.
But the note here is like, I know you're not thinking anybody's going to do it in advance, but the note is really for people who read it in advance too, right?
How's that? Information available on the community preservation website.
Yep. I like it.
Okay. So we got that. All right.
All right.
Okay. Let me. Right, I saved it. And with that, can I get a motion to accept the 3 warrant articles as written?
So moved.
Okay, Jess made the motion. Who seconds?
Second,
All right, Barry seconds. Let's do a roll call. Barry,
aye.
Jess,
Aye.
Beth,
Yes.
and Kevin.
Aye.
All right, and Janet says aye. Okay. That's what we needed to get accomplished tonight. Any chance that I can get a motion to adjourn unless there's anything else?
Just a clarification, you had these drafts on the website with the meeting?
Probably not.
Okay. Okay, then we'll just do as written. Good, no
Okay.
problem.
Okay, no problem. The only other thing is the 71 Sandy Pond Working Group is meeting on Monday at 6. I cannot make it because I've got my final exam that night. So with that, I know Kevin, you said you were going to be at the meeting, right? For Parks and Rec?
Yes, that's correct. I'll be there.
Okay, does anybody, Jess, are you going to be there for conservation?
Nope, John is.
John is, okay. Does anybody else want to go from CPC?
I'm kind of interested, but I don't know that I'll be able to make it.
Okay,
I could potentially go for CPC. Is it in town hall?
it's Zoom as well. I'll
So
send
did
you,
it both town hall and Zoom?
yeah, it's a hybrid meeting. So
Okay.
I'll send you the
Yeah.
the link, okay?
If you'll send me the link as well, and then Jess, if I can make it, I'll just let you know.
Okay, so we'll do it. Beth will go, and then if Beth can't make it, I'll go.
Okay, all right. So that's all that I wanted to ask. That would be great. And if you guys can't make it, Kevin will be there too as well. So just in case. All right. Can I get,
And good luck on your exam.
thank you. Taking Surf Safe class, so just to help out with different things in town. All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Jess makes the motion. Can I
Second.
All right, Beth seconds. Okay, great. We're done in a half hour. Thank you
Oh,
so
you have to all
much.
say aye.